Being literate also enables us to participate fully in society. Fluid 2013 argues that it is a platform for individuals to develop their knowledge and fully participate in society through oral, written, printed, and digital media. UNESCO similarly recognizes that literacy, defined by the ability to identify, understand, interpret, create, communicate, compute, and use printed materials associated with varying contexts, acts as an instrument of participation and empowerment, essential to social and human development. UNESCO in Fluid 2013. Literacy also lies at the heart of education, Fluid 2013, and therefore has a significant impact on subsequent opportunities in life, NLT 2012. The National Literacy Trust, NLT, reports that 1 in 6 people in the United Kingdom live with poor literacy skills. Without good enough reading, writing, and communication skills, a child won't be able to succeed at school, and as a young adult, they will be locked out of the job market. They will be unable to reach their full potential or make a valuable contribution to the economic and cultural life of our nation. Their poor literacy skill will also affect them as a parent, as they will struggle to support their child's learning, and generations of families will be locked in poverty and social exclusion. NLT 2012 P3. Becoming literate is therefore vital, and schools have the responsibility to ensure that children become literate. However, this is not a straightforward issue, despite agreement about the importance of literacy. How schools achieve this is the subject of considerable debate and tension, in particular how and when phonics should be part of the process of learning to read and spell. These issues are discussed in depth in Chapter 1, but a context for understanding what comes before phonics is important. It is important to understand what phonics is and what we know about the place of phonics in being literate. What is phonics? Phonics is a way of teaching reading that emphasizes the acquisition of letter sound, correspondence, and basis of teaching children to read, spell, and spell. The primary focus of phonics is to ensure that as children move into becoming conventionally literate, they understand how letters, graphemes are linked and sound, phonemes, and how to blend phonemes together into words and segment words. In phonemes, this enables children to decode text and support spelling. In England, the mandated approach is one termed systematic synthetic phonics. It is systematic in that the sounds and skills are taught explicitly and directly in a deliberate, planned sequence, and synthetic in requirement that children synthesize, blend sounds together. Systematic synthetic phonics. Spoken words and written words. Language is made up of words. Words are made up of sounds, phonemes. When we write, we use written symbols, graphemes, to represent the sounds. These graphemes may be single letter or combinations of letters, such as oi and I. Once we know how these graphemes, phonemes, correspondence, GPC work, we can encode spoken words in writing for others to read, and we can decode words that others have written. Synthetic phonics. The synthetic part of the term synthetic phonics comes from the part played by synthesis in blending in reading. As outlined below, children are taught GCPS and how to use the knowledge to work out words from the beginning, starting with the simplest level. For reading, children are taught to look at the letters from left to right, convert them into sounds, and synthesize the sounds to work out the spoken forms of the words. For example, if children see the word hat, they need to know what sound together sound to say for each grapheme, at, and then to be able to blend those sounds together into a recognizable word. Once words have been read this way often enough, and this can vary from child to child, they become known, and the words can then be read without sounding out and blending. For spelling, children are taught to segment spoken words into sound and write down graphemes for those sounds. For example, if children want to write hat, they need to be able to split it into sounds, hat, and write the appropriate letters. TDA 2011. The place of phonics in becoming literate. The overall consensus is that the systematic teaching of phonics has an essential part to play in children becoming literate. Major studies conclude that phonics is an important aspect of learning to read, but it is insufficient on its own as a way to teach children to read effectively with understanding and enjoyment. A number of large-scale studies, including national reports and meta-analysis of existing evidence, have drawn in conclusion. Adam 1990 explored the most efficient and effective ways to teach reading and asked the question, why phonics in learning to read, and conclude that students must appreciate the alphabetic principle to become proficient readers. They must acquire a sense of correspondence between letters and sounds upon which is based. Adam 1990, p. 29. However, she cautions that necessary sound is not the same as sufficient. And to become skillful readers, children must need more than just an understanding of alphabetic principles. Similarly, the National Reading Panel, NICHD 2006, in their report, Teaching Children to Read, found from their meta-analysis